Consumed by his frustration, he erupted in anger towards her. "I have cautioned you regarding consuming this quantity. I have strong feelings about this, and I find it difficult to accept if you keep indulging in such excessive eating habits. Simply observe yourself. This is not the person I said I do to." In a charming village tucked away among the verdant hills of eastern Nigeria, two steadfast friends named Oba and Ease shared an unbreakable bond. From their earliest days, these two young men forged an unbreakable bond, navigating every adventure and overcoming every challenge together. Their bond was further deepened by the fact that both Oba and Ease shared the experience of being orphans. Having lost their parents at a tender age, they quickly discovered the importance of leaning on one another for both support and companionship. Oba and Ease were celebrated across the village for their generosity and tireless efforts. In the face of initial adversity, having lost their families, they persevered unwaveringly. Instead, they toiled with even greater determination to leave their imprint. The villagers held them in high regard, not only for their unwavering strength but also for their commitment to their craft. Ease possessed a profound affection for the land, cultivating abundant harvests as a dedicated farmer. He rose with the first light of day, nurturing his fields while a cheerful tune danced on his lips. The farm unfolded like a canvas, a tapestry of lively greens and yellows, extending endlessly into the horizon. Oba, in contrast, was an exceptional fisherman. His days unfolded on the shimmering surface of the nearby river, where he cast his nets with a finesse that felt almost enchanting. The fish he caught were consistently the largest and the freshest, which he would proudly present at the village market. His boat was his most cherished possession, and he tended to it with the same devotion one would show to a precious treasure. Oba and Ease formed an impeccable partnership. Their camaraderie shone brightly, illuminating the village with hope and happiness. They supported one another in their endeavors, with Ease frequently supplying Oba with portions of his harvest to sell at the market, while Oba contributed his catch to enhance the flavors of Ease's meals. The collaboration between them deepened the villagers' admiration and affection. As time flowed in the enchanting village where Oba and Ease resided, countless seasons arrived and departed, each brimming with vitality and fresh beginnings. Ease, observing his farm thrive due to his hard work, concluded that it was the ideal moment to begin a family of his own. His fields flourished with bountiful crops, and a deep yearning stirred within him to share the joy and triumph of his life with a kindred spirit. Oba, Ease's encouraging companion, was delighted when Ease revealed his plans to him. He recognized that Ease would be a remarkable husband and father, much like he excelled as a farmer. Ease quickly wed a charming young woman from their village, celebrated for her grace and warmth. They embraced the arrival of two boys, Chike and Nantu, into their family. The boys filled their parents' hearts with pride, infusing their home with laughter and joy. Oba, while still single at that moment, felt immense joy for his friend and wholeheartedly accepted his position as an honorary uncle to the boys. Their bond endured, steadfast and unwavering, despite the new paths and duties that life presented to them. 5 years following Ease's marriage, it was now Oba's opportunity to seek joy in romance. He wed a stunning woman, her beauty the subject of much admiration throughout the village. Her eyes shimmered like celestial bodies in the dark expanse, and her skin possessed a texture as delicate and luxurious as the softest silk. Before long, they welcomed a beautiful baby girl into their lives. This enchanting little girl captivated everyone around her, leaving them in awe of her exquisite beauty. Both of her parents had quietly wished for a daughter to be their firstborn. They were overflowing with boundless happiness. They chose the name Ola, signifying my precious jewel. Ola was truly a cherished gem to her parents, embodying their love and joy, a flawless fusion of her father's resilience and her mother's elegance. The whole village rejoiced at her arrival, and she blossomed in an atmosphere filled with affection and esteem from everyone around her. In the heart of a lively and tightly woven village, Ola blossomed, surrounded by an atmosphere rich with affection and esteem. From the instant she awoke each day until she surrendered to sleep at night, she was profoundly adored by those in her life. A warm and loving circle enveloped her, composed of villagers, family, and friends, ensuring she felt cherished each and every day. Her parents, overflowing with affection and admiration, devoted themselves to her with unwavering care and focus. She wholeheartedly embraced the teachings of kindness, respect, and generosity that were imparted to her. Ola cherished her bond with her family, finding immense joy in her relationship with Chika Nansu, Iza's son, who embraced her as their cherished little sister. The boys looked out for her, consistently ensuring her happiness and safety. They engaged in playful activities with her, exchanged tales, and welcomed her into all their escapades, which endeared Ola to them greatly. As Ola grew into a compassionate and courteous young woman, her presence in the village shone brightly like a guiding star. Her readiness to lend a hand, whether it was by helping her mother with household tasks or joining her father at the Boston Village Market, earned her the affection and respect of everyone around her. Her warmth shone brightly, captivating the hearts of all who crossed her path, while her radiant smile and tender spirit attracted others effortlessly. Each time Ola stepped into Iza's home, he regarded her with deep affection and a sparkle in his eyes. He cherished Ola and frequently playfully teased her, referring to her as "my son's wife," which consistently elicited laughter and a rosy glow from Ola. Iza had entertained a whimsical notion, perhaps only half seriously, that one day one of his sons might find fortune in marrying Ola. He perceived in her more than the external allure that captivated everyone. He recognized a profound kindness and a nurturing spirit, traits he cherished deeply and envisioned sharing with his loved ones. Ola was renowned across the village for her stunning beauty, a beauty that appeared to enchant all who beheld her. Every man in the village envisioned a future where she would be his beloved wife. Yet, Chika and Nansu, the sons of Iza, remained steadfastly by her side. Their unwavering presence instilled a sense of hesitation and intimidation in other suitors, compelling them to admire her from a distance. Chika, the eldest son of Iza, had nurtured feelings for Ola since their childhood. As they matured, his fondness only intensified. Still, he concealed his emotions, anxious about his parents' potential response and unsure of Ola's feelings towards him. Even with a profound affection in his heart, Chika chose to remain quiet, clinging to the hope that he would eventually find the courage to express his genuine emotions to her. Unlike Chika, who was more reserved, Nansu was vibrant and always eager for new experiences, making him and Ola a dynamic duo. They dedicated endless hours to each other, frequently embarking on boating adventures or casting lines in the river. Their bond radiated joy and whispered confidences, appearing to onlookers as a seamless connection, effortlessly comfortable in one another's presence. From afar, Chika frequently watched them, a wave of melancholy occasionally sweeping through him. He observed the closeness between Nansu and Ola, and within him stirred a quiet longing for Ola to peer into his soul and recognize the profound affection he harbored for her. On a bright, sunny day, as the brothers toiled diligently on their farm, the sun's heat became increasingly oppressive, leading them to find shelter beneath a sprawling tree. Embracing the opportunity, Chika resolved to face the question that had been heavy on his heart. He glanced at Nansu and inquired, "Nansu, do you love Ola?" What intentions do you hold for her? Nancy was startled by the unexpected inquiry. He was taken aback by the straightforward discussion about emotions, yet after a fleeting pause of surprise, he responded truthfully, I love her. Her beauty captivates me, and I dream of making her my wife. Our understanding of one another runs deep. Upon hearing this, Chaik felt his heart break into pieces. He had always wished that Nancy viewed Ola merely as a friend and sister, rather than a potential wife. Each day, he envisioned himself marrying Ola, patiently biding his time for the perfect opportunity to reveal his emotions. As the weight of missed opportunities settled in, Chaik was overwhelmed by a wave of sorrow. Overwhelmed by his feelings, he rose suddenly and left the farm in a rush, leaving Nancy bewildered, unable to grasp the reason for his brother's profound distress. Ola cherished Nancy deeply. She valued her bond with Chaik, who took on the role of a big brother, always showing care and protection. Yet it was Nancy who genuinely grasped the art of illuminating her existence. He was her kindred spirit, the one who could ignite her laughter with a single word or a whimsical gesture. Being with Nancy felt like being enveloped in an endless stream of laughter and happiness, and Ola cherished every moment spent together. Chaik, witnessing the joy that Nancy infused into Ola's life, experienced a blend of happiness and a profound sense of sorrow. He also harbored feelings for Ola, yet witnessing her smile so openly with Nancy made him understand that her happiness outweighed his own longings. It was a challenging and heart-wrenching choice, yet Chaik decided to withdraw. He resolved to prioritize Ola's happiness with Nancy over his own feelings, choosing not to jeopardize her joy. Shortly thereafter, Nancy made a heartfelt proposal to Ola, who happily accepted. The announcement of their engagement sparked joyous festivities among both families and the whole village. The excitement was palpable as the union promised to deepen the connection between the two families, who had shared a long-standing friendship. On the eve of their wedding, overwhelmed by a whirlwind of feelings, Chaik pulled Nancy aside. Under the vast expanse of stars, they gathered, sharing a keg of palm wine, a testament to their bond and the profound conversations that flowed between them. With a profound sense of sorrow, Chaik confided in his brother. You know, Ola has always felt like family to us, he started, his voice heavy with sentiment. We both cherish her deeply. If you hadn't proposed to her, I would have been the one to take that step. You are my brother, and your happiness brings me joy as well. As her future husband and the brother she has always known, I implore you to look after Ola with the utmost care. She's the sole sister I've ever had, and the thought of her being unhappy is unbearable to me. As Chaik uttered those words, his heart broke into fragments. He recognized the significance of conveying the intensity of his emotions to Nancy. Nancy absorbed the conversation quietly, her respect deepening with each word, accompanied by a hint of astonishment. He was unaware that Chaik's emotions ran so profound. A deep sense of gratitude washed over him as Chaik entrusted him with this revelation, and he vowed to his brother with unwavering sincerity. I will look after Ola, not merely as my wife, but as a beloved sister we both hold dear. This vow forged a fresh connection between the brothers, drawing them nearer through their mutual affection for Ola. On her wedding day, Ola appeared like a breathtaking masterpiece, shining with joy and elegance. Her smile illuminated the whole room, and with each grin, it felt as though the day became even more radiant. As Nancy observed her approach, a surge of joy made his heart race. Today, he was uniting with not only the love of his life but also his closest companion, and the thought enveloped him in profound joy. In a moment steeped in the village's cherished traditions, Ola gracefully knelt and presented Nancy with a cup of palm wine, a gesture embodying respect and love, as their culture had imparted. Nantu received the cup, her face lighting up with a proud and joyful smile. In that instant, their gazes intertwined, creating a profound bond. In that singular moment, their destinies became forever linked. The gathering erupted in joyous cheers and exuberant celebration, reveling in the union of two cherished hearts. The atmosphere buzzed with joy, and the echoes of festivity resonated throughout the surroundings. Chaik, surrounded by the laughter and movement, experienced a bittersweet ache in his heart as he observed the festivities. He controlled his emotions with precision, maintaining a composed smile as he took in the stunning ceremony. Even though it was difficult to witness the woman he had secretly adored tying the knot with his brother, he sincerely hoped for their happiness in every way possible. As he stood there, he held on to the hope that one day he would discover a love that mirrored the joy he witnessed on his brother and Ola's faces that day. Taking a deep breath, Chaik raised his voice, blending with the cheerful sounds surrounding him, and quietly wished for the happiness of his brother and new sister-in-law. He yearned for the day when he too would experience a love so deep and discover the joy that currently illuminated his brother's existence. Nanto and Ola began their marriage filled with immense joy. Their romance was the talk of the village, with everyone praising the blissful couple. Their parents were also brimming with pride and joy, witnessing their children find love and establish their lives together. Ola, an only child, was nurtured with immense care and affection, a devotion she now channeled into her marriage. She held Nanto in high regard and treasured him profoundly, and he reciprocated her feelings with love. Their home radiated happiness and mirth, a genuine reflection of their affection. Yet, the serene existence they cherished took a turn when Ola discovered she was expecting. Initially, the announcement of the pregnancy filled them with overwhelming happiness. They envisioned their future as parents, brimming with enthusiasm and eager expectations. As the months went by and Ola's body transformed with the pregnancy, Nanto's demeanor towards her shifted as well. Nanto had always been captivated by Ola's beauty and her graceful figure, qualities that drew him to her during their childhood together. As Ola's pregnancy advanced, and she naturally gained weight, Nanto encountered unexpected feelings that caught him off guard. He grew increasingly irritable, with even the tiniest matters triggering his frustration. One evening, Nanto came home from work to discover Ola enjoying a generous serving of fufu. The scene caught him off guard, provoking a strong response. Consumed by his frustration, he erupted in anger towards her. "I have cautioned you regarding consuming this quantity. I have strong feelings about this, and I find it difficult to accept if you keep indulging in such behavior. Simply observe yourself. This is not the person I said I do to." With that, he burst out of the house, leaving Ola in a state of disbelief and sorrow. Ola sat there, warmth enveloping her as tears started to stream down her cheeks. She had always held the conviction that their love was resilient and invincible, certain that nothing could ever stand in their way. The biting remarks from Nanto pierced her heart, leading her to reevaluate the core of their connection. She experienced a profound sense of betrayal and isolation, a sharp departure from the affectionate bond they once shared. As she struggled to understand Nanto's severe response, Ola felt a deep pang in her heart. The man she adored, the man she vowed to spend her life with, felt like a complete stranger at this moment. His words reverberated in her thoughts, enveloping her in a haze of melancholy and uncertainty. She had believed their love could conquer any obstacle, yet his response to her pregnancy unveiled a facet of Nanto she had never encountered before. The anticipation of their forthcoming child was now clouded by anguish and doubt. Ola's hunger faded away as she struck the ground with her next step. She sought to comprehend the reasons behind Nanto's behavior and pondered if their love could endure this unforeseen challenge. As time went on, Ola's circumstances became more and more challenging. She decided to keep her struggles hidden from her family, holding on to the belief that Nanto was merely experiencing a temporary phase and that everything would eventually go back to how it used to be. As the days stretched into weeks, Nanto's behavior continued to deteriorate. He grew aloof and unfeeling, ceasing to express the warmth they had once known. Nanto would linger in the shadows of the night, returning home inebriated, his demeanor heavy with darkness and aggression. As he addressed Ola, his language dripped with malice and inflicted pain. He would insult her with names like fat fool. It was a facet of Nanto she had never envisioned encountering. The devoted partner she once cherished appeared to have vanished entirely. Ola felt utterly shattered. In the solitude of her home, she frequently found herself sitting in tears, engulfed by the transformations in her life and the man she cherished. She made several attempts to convey to Nanto that it was completely normal for her body to undergo changes during pregnancy. Yet her words went unheard. He persistently ridiculed and belittled her at every chance he got. Yet, their relationship, brimming with love and joy, resonated with a tone of bitterness and sorrow. The arrival of their daughter ought to have been a celebration filled with happiness. Both families united in joyous celebration of the beautiful new life that had emerged. Nanto donned a mask of joy, striving to ensure that no one would sense that anything was amiss. Throughout the weeks that Ola's mother was with them to assist with the new baby, Nanto acted as though all was well, concealing the reality of their troubled relationship. Yet, when her mother departed, Nanto's facade crumbled, and his harsh demeanor resurfaced with even more ferocity. He grew indifferent and severe, showing no concern for Ola as she faced the challenges of recovering from childbirth and attempting to breastfeed their daughter. He disregarded her needs, at times even denying her food, and carried on as though he bore no obligations at home. When Ola attempted to address his behavior, he would erupt in anger, physically assaulting her while shouting, "How dare you question me, you fat idiot!" He even warned her that he would walk away if she didn't shed some pounds. Each day unfolded with fresh sorrow for Ola. She experienced a profound sense of isolation, with no one available to offer assistance or solace. The man she had once cherished had transformed into a figure of dread and anguish, casting her into a solitude filled with her torment. Ola found herself ensnared in a web of hopelessness, grappling with the uncertainty of escape and the dilemma of whom to confide in about the struggles of her troubled marriage. Ola found herself hesitant to share her struggles with her mother, concerned that it might lead to undue anxiety. She carried her burdens in solitude, yearning for a solution that appeared ever more elusive. Following his brother's wedding, Chaik relocated to the city, aiming to create some distance from his unreturned affections, in search of the solitude required to mend his broken heart. In the city, he embarked on a new venture that, to his delight, flourished, granting him a sense of tranquility and achievement. Upon discovering that Ola had welcomed a new baby into the world, he felt compelled to pay a visit, eager to rekindle his bond with his brother and meet his precious niece. Chaik reached Nantu and Ola's residence just as Nantu was absent, allowing him the opportunity to converse with Ola privately. He was taken aback to notice that Ola had put on some weight, a shift he had not anticipated. Even so, she continued to captivate him with her beauty. Yet, what resonated with him even more was the palpable sorrow reflected in her gaze, a sharp divergence from the cheerful Ola he once knew. "What seems to be the issue?" Chaik inquired right away, a sense of satisfaction evident in his tone as he settled into his seat. Faced with Chaik's heartfelt concern, Ola found it impossible to contain her feelings any longer. Emotions cascaded down her cheeks as she revealed the turmoil that had been unfolding in her life. The suffering and emotional torment she had been experiencing at the hands of Nantu. Chaik absorbed the words, his heart racing with disbelief and fury. He had always viewed the bond between Ola and Nantu as something genuine and resilient, making it difficult to accept how their marriage had deteriorated so significantly in merely 2 years. "Are you being honest?" Chaik inquired, seeking to hear it once more. Ola nodded, her tears continuing to flow. Overwhelmed by the fury of his sister-in-law's plight, Chaik was grappling with his emotions when Nanta staggered into the house, unmistakably inebriated. Fueled by his anger and without a moment's pause, Chaik faced Nanta head-on, consumed by the urge to defend Ola. The brothers engaged in a fierce scuffle, with Chaik effortlessly overpowering Nantu. Every strike was fueled by his fury and the sense of betrayal he experienced for Ola. Ola, filled with dread at the thought of Chaik potentially hurting Nantu, cried out for assistance. Her voice trembled with urgency. Her cries cut through the chaos, reaching Chaik's awareness and soothing his simmering anger. As Nantu writhed in agony on the floor, Chaik's voice thundered, "I warned you, if you ever lay a hand on her again, I promise I will return, and you will deeply regret it. Do not ever touch her inappropriately or utter any hurtful words to her again. I had no idea you could be so unfeeling." Overwhelmed by the intensity of the confrontation and unable to tolerate Nantu's presence any longer, Chaik rushed out of the house and headed straight to his parents' home to share the troubling situation and seek their advice on how to ensure Ola's safety and well-being. Upon Chaik's revelation of the troubles between Ola and Nantu, Ease and his wife were left in a state of deep sadness and shock. Unbeknownst to them, the challenges Ola had been enduring remained unspoken, as she had never confided in them about her marital troubles. I always recognized Nantu's tendency to be aggressive and immature, yet I believed his affection for her was sincere. Ease's voice carried a weight of disappointment and hurt. "This matter requires our immediate attention. I must protect the enduring bond that exists between our families from any harm caused by this situation." Ease swiftly summoned an urgent family meeting. As the group assembled, his gaze fell on Nantu, revealing a blend of frustration and worry. "What has come over you, Nantu?" he insisted, the frustration evident in his voice. Nantu, burdened by his father's words and the piercing gazes of his family, was engulfed in a wave of shame. "I need you to clarify your thoughts," Ease insisted, encouraging Nantu to share more. After a moment of silence, Nantu finally broke the stillness with words. "She was putting on some pounds, and I wasn't fond of it. I married her because I adored her slender figure, but once she became pregnant, she began to eat more and continued to grow larger and larger. I simply couldn't bear it." Upon hearing this, tears cascaded down Ola's cheeks, while Chaik struggled to contain his fury, battling the impulse to confront Nantu once more in a physical manner. Ease's wife then stepped forward, her voice commanding yet rich with insight. "Not every woman can maintain her figure after giving birth. Women face numerous challenges, and it is unreasonable to anticipate that they will maintain the same appearance as they once did. Ola remains stunning, and she possesses a kind heart. She merits a more deserving treatment. For goodness sake, Nantu, she has just brought your child into the world. She deserves to be treated with immense love and respect. It appears that your fascination lies solely in her appearance, and you have yet to grasp her true essence. Genuine affection transcends mere looks. It's about recognizing and valuing the essence of your partner from deep within. That is what upholds a connection when outward appearances diminish. Ease acknowledged his wife's words with a nod and then directed his attention to Nantu. Your mother has a point. There is always room for improvement. After the family meeting, Nantu ceased his physical abuse and began to ignore Ola instead. He hardly engaged with her, steering clear of any physical interaction, frequently disappearing from the house for extended periods. Overwhelmed by a profound sense of isolation in her journey of parenthood, Ola found herself in tears, struggling to cope with the weight of loneliness and emotional neglect. At her breaking point, she received counsel from her mother-in-law to go back to her own home until Nantu regained his clarity. A moment of clarity that tragically remained elusive. Ola's parents embraced her and her child wholeheartedly, feeling the weight of sorrow yet standing firmly by their side. In spite of Nantu's behavior, Ease and Oba upheld their bond, understanding that Nantu's emotions were personal and did not represent the principles of his family. Shortly after Ola departed, Nantu entered into a new marriage, indicating that he had probably been looking for a chance to begin again for quite a while. Ola's family, upon learning of Nantu's remarriage, decided to return the bride price for Ola. This represented a customary method of indicating that the girl was now available for marriage once more. Ola felt utterly crushed. Nantu had been her childhood companion, and the idea that he could so effortlessly cast aside their shared histories and memories felt utterly devastating. It dawned on her, with a heavy heart, that Nantu had never grasped the essence of love, his attention solely captured by her outward appearance. This revelation shattered her further as she struggled with the truth that the man she adored had been so superficial. Ola found life in the village increasingly intolerable. No matter where she turned, the anguish of witnessing her estranged husband with another woman followed her relentlessly. The murmurs and chatter of the village women enveloped her, creating an atmosphere where she felt perpetually scrutinized and evaluated, fueling her resolve to seek a new beginning and a brighter future for herself and her daughter. Ola made the bold choice to relocate to the city and chase her dream of tailoring, a craft she had honed with dedication over the years. Her parents, unwavering in their support, fully embraced her decision. They equipped her with the resources essential for establishing her new life and bid her farewell with heartfelt wishes for success and joy. With tears glistening in her eyes, Ola's mother embraced her daughter tightly, murmuring heartfelt wishes that the city would bestow upon her the peace and joy she truly deserved. After settling in the city, Ola swiftly launched her tailoring business. She discovered happiness in her craft, and it wasn't long before her talent began to earn her recognition. With the success of her business, Ola started to rediscover her confidence. She began shedding the pounds accumulated during her difficult marriage, and her smile re-emerged, more radiant than before. Both she and her daughter found joy anew, embracing their fresh start unburdened by the weight of former troubles. On a rainy evening, after a long day at her shop, Ola and her daughter found themselves waiting at a bus stop, feeling the weight of the day linger in the air. The sky was swiftly cloaked in shadows, and her daughter, weary and distressed, started to weep. Ola embraced her tightly, seeking to shield her from the downpour, hoping fervently for a swift miracle to guide them home. At that moment, a car came to a stop right in front of him. Chaik, having relocated to the same city, had occasionally spotted a familiar face in that area, yet he had not recognized it as Ola. He had lost track of her since her move and had no idea she was now residing in the city. As he drove past the bus stop that day, he noticed a woman with her child, and something compelled him to take a closer look, revealing that it was Ola. Filled with joy and relief at the sight of a familiar face, Ola welcomed Chaik with a heartfelt smile. Chaik's gaze roamed across Ola. She appeared remarkably transformed and had lost a significant amount of weight, in stark contrast to his last memory of her. He volunteered to take them home, and as they drove, they reminisced about all that had transpired in their lives over the past few years. She shared her journey of launching a tailoring business that was thriving, yet she confessed to experiencing a sense of loneliness in the vastness of the city. Chaik absorbed every word, his heart reaching out to Ola and her daughter. He felt a deep sorrow upon learning of her marriage's end, yet found solace in the fact that she had escaped a troubling circumstance, admiring her strength and achievements. Upon reaching Ola's residence, Chaik assured them of his visit over the weekend, eager to maintain their connection and extend his support. As he drove away, a sense of renewed connection to Ola washed over him, as he admired her unwavering strength and determination to reshape her life for the better. In the village, Nanto's existence was anything but tranquil. After Ola departed, he wed a woman named Uju, who revealed herself to be quite aggressive and confrontational. Nanto and Uju, both possessing fierce determination, frequently found themselves at odds with one another. Their energies were in perfect harmony. Their home echoed with the sounds of shouting, fighting, and arguments that stretched from dawn until dusk. Each time Nanto returned home late, tensions rose, transforming their residence into a fierce arena of conflict. Nanto's connection with his parents remained unchanged. They remained displeased with him for the way he had treated Ola, and as a result, he felt unable to seek their help or support. His new life with Uju was a whirlwind of chaos and tension. In contrast to Ola, Uju had not yet experienced motherhood, yet she managed to make Nanto's life quite unbearable. As the days passed, Nanto began to sense the burden of his decisions. He started to recognize the stark contrast between his life with Uju and how it had unfolded with Ola. The unending conflicts and the charged environment within the household brought to light the depth of his loss. Coexisting with Uju proved to be challenging, stirring a longing for the tranquility and affection he had once overlooked with Ola. Gradually, Nanto began to feel remorse for his choices and the errors he had committed, longing for the moments he could have cherished Ola more during their time together. In the city, Ola and Chaik discovered a renewed bond, enriching their friendship as they spent time together. Following his hectic workdays, Chaik frequently made his way to Ola's shop to collect her and her daughter MMA for the journey home. MMA swiftly captured Chaik's affection. She resembled her mother in both appearance and essence, and he treasured the time spent in playful laughter with them. As the days transformed into weeks, the connection between Ola and Chaik deepened. They began to share more moments, relishing experiences that resembled romantic escapades. Though they never explicitly named it, laughter emerged as a familiar melody in their exchanges, enveloping the atmosphere with a sense of warmth and delight. Ola remained oblivious to the fact that Chaik had nurtured feelings for her throughout the years, while for Chaik, the sight of Ola once more sparked those long-buried emotions just as he believed he had left them behind. Still, a persistent worry clung to him. One day, seeking direction, Chaik chose to return to his village to have a conversation with his father. As he approached, his parents were gathered outside their hut, their faces glowing with happiness at the sight of him. After what felt like an eternity since their previous encounter, they devoted hours to reconnecting and sharing stories. In the course of their discussion, his mother brought up Nonso and his new wife, Uju. "He hasn't come to see us, but we've heard that his wife is quite a challenge for him. He wed Uju, that lovely girl, the daughter of Okori." That girl is recognized for her fiery temperament and her fierce fighting spirit. She explained that Nonso is likely too embarrassed to come and see us. Chaik remained troubled by Nonso's behavior towards Ola. A wave of sympathy washed over him as he thought of his brother. Later that night, when the house was quiet and everyone else was asleep, Chaik confided in his father. "Dad, I could really use your insight regarding a friend," he said, treading lightly. He has developed feelings for a woman who was previously wed to his brother. He finds himself in a state of confusion, uncertain about the next steps to take. It's a surprising grip. Understanding Chaik's narrative, he realized his son was either reflecting on his own experiences or chose to engage in the tale. He inquired whether his brother had remarried. Indeed, Chaik affirmed with a nod. "In that case, I believe the woman has the liberty to remarry." Yi suggested that if his feelings for her are that strong, he ought to consider marrying her. With a glimmer of mischief in his gaze, he continued. "Anyway, let's move on from your friend. When is the big day?" Chaik chuckled, enjoying his father's playful demeanor. "Before long, Papa," he assured. The conversation flowed late into the night, filled with stories and wisdom, until fatigue finally took hold and they each sought the solace of their beds, comforted by the warmth of each other's company. Upon Chaik's return to the city, brimming with a fresh sense of confidence and clarity regarding his emotions, he resolved that it was the moment to make a meaningful advance with Ola. He asked her to join him at a serene, secluded spot where they could converse in private. In that moment, he bared his soul to her, revealing the profound emotions that had blossomed in their youth and endured through the passage of time. He opened up to her about the heartache he experienced watching her with Natsu, revealing that his feelings had remained steadfast despite the situation. Ola was stunned by Chaik's revelation. She had always sensed that Chaik held a profound affection for her and her daughter, yet she had not fully grasped the extent of his emotions, that he was genuinely in love with her. Chaik's demeanor consistently stood in sharp contrast to Natsu's. He exuded a serene and contemplative demeanor, possessing a soft quality that consistently made her feel secure and appreciated. She recalled the way he stood up for her when Natsu was cruel, always a reliable source of support and compassion in her life. Recognizing the authenticity of Chaik's emotions and reminiscing about the countless moments they had experienced together, Ola embraced his proposal. It wasn't merely his words that swayed her, but the unwavering love and respect he consistently demonstrated towards her and her daughter. As their bond deepened, Chaik knelt down and proposed, and Ola, filled with overwhelming emotion, responded with tears of joy and a heartfelt yes. She embraced him with fervor, fully aware in her heart that this was genuine love, one that transcended mere appearances to reach the very core of her being. The announcement of their engagement caught both families off guard. Although Ys harbored doubts stemming from his discussion with Chaik, the others were surprised yet delighted. Ola's family, recognizing the sincere love and admiration Chaik had for Ola, quickly offered their approval. Everyone recognized that Chaik embodied the same qualities as his father, honorable, kind, and loving. The couple hosted an intimate traditional marriage ceremony in the village to pay homage to their heritage, with aspirations for a lavish wedding celebration in the city to follow. On their wedding day, Chaik's heart brimmed with joy, thankful for the opportunity to share his life with Ola, the woman he had always cherished. Chaik adored Ola, honoring her each day, and she felt a joy with Chaik that was unlike anything she had ever known. His affection reshaped her reality, instilling a sense of value and honor within her. Ola basked in the warmth and care that Chaik offered, fully aware that she had finally embraced a life she rightfully deserved, one abundant in love, respect, and happiness. Ever since Ola departed, Nanto's world has been completely transformed. All seemed to unravel, leaving him unable to discover joy or achievement in any of his endeavors. Upon learning that his brother Chaik had wed Ola, it struck him like a blow to the heart. Ola had been a remarkable woman, a genuine source of tranquility and joy in his life. Yet, he had allowed her to slip away over insignificant matters that he believed held weight at the time. Nanto came to the unfortunate realization that he had erred significantly. He exchanged his joy for arrogance and trivial matters, ultimately losing Ola to his more compassionate brother. This understanding enveloped him in a wave of remorse, and he recognized that he must bear the weight of his choices. Now trapped in an unfulfilling marriage, he frequently reflected on the serene and affectionate life he might have shared with Ola. In the heart of the city, Chaik and Ola were crafting a life filled with beauty and promise. They welcomed additional children, each bringing an abundance of joy and laughter to the family. Their affection for one another remained steadfast and lively, blossoming anew with every day that went by. Chaik had vowed to cherish her, regardless of her size or appearance. He vowed his eternal affection to her. They genuinely thrived in joy, enveloped by the affection and comfort of their expanding family, treasuring every instant and thankful for the life they embraced together. Hey friends, we've reached the conclusion of this lovely tale, and I truly hope you found joy in it just as we did in creating it. Please share your lessons in the comments so others can benefit from them. If you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, don't skip this video without clicking the subscribe button and turning on your notification bell to stay updated on our new stories. Thank you for your support and love. At this moment, I must head off to meet you in our upcoming tale. Farewell.